let's paint the scene. The year is 2023. Joel Embiid just won the NBA's Most Valuable Player award, coming off of his best season yet. Going into the NBA playoffs, the 76ers were not regarded as championship favorites by any means. However, it was in this season as well. They would be knocked out by the Boston Celtics by yet another injury-riddled season for the process. This was just before the James Harden trade, in which the 76ers would flip James Harden for a little bit more of a future, grabbing some draft capital along with Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin, and Marcus Morris. And following getting rid of James Harden, they were able to develop Tyrese Maxey into one of the NBA's best young guards. Tyrese Maxey is just coming off a season in which he averaged 26 points a game and won the Most Improved Player award. Now this year, he is not playing like his normal self, but that can be said about a lot of the roster, as the 76ers are down low in the standings. They are in Hornets, Raptors, and Pistons territory, just 2 years removed from being the third seed in the East. They are now fighting for even making the play-in. They picked up Paul George as well this offseason, and while hyperextending his knee not just once but twice, they have been struggling to figure out an answer. Is it time for the 76ers to just ship everyone out and end the process for good? Is there a serious move they can make to contend now? Hello everyone, I'm Mason, and are the 76ers done for? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and let's get straight into it. The 76ers being 7-15 on the season as of the time of recording this video is very disgusting to see. They have been playing such horrible basketball. Their offense has been nasty. They have not been able to keep guys on the floor. Maxey being the only one of the big three that's even remotely been on the floor. The brightest spot of this team, without a doubt in anyone's mind, has been Jared McCain, who has been averaging 16 points a game on 46, 38, 88 splits, and he has been a very dynamic part of this offense, being able to create his own looks as well as facilitate for others. So as I was editing this video, terrible news came out. Jared McCain out for a long period of time, not known yet, with a torn meniscus. It just keeps getting worse for the Sixers, and Joel Embiid out with a sinus fracture. Man, this team is the unluckiest team I've ever seen. So I just felt like I should add that information, and back to the video. Thank you. Now, the problem with the 76ers is not what players are doing. It's just the simple absence of no one being able to play basketball. Joel Embiid, out of a possible 22 games that the 76ers have played this season, he has only participated in 5 games out of 22, and you are the MVP of the league as of 2 years ago. It's so horrible to see that from him, because just last season, to start the year off, he was far and ahead, easily winning the MVP award. During this stretch, for the first 33 games that he played in the regular season in the 23-24 season, he was putting up numbers of 36, 11, 6 on 54, 37, 88 splits, which is absolutely bonkers. He was far and ahead the MVP of the league last year at that time, and it just really sucks that ever since then his injuries have dethroned his entire career. Last year he only played 39 games by the end of the season, and this year it's already questionable if he'll even reach that mark. For a guy that is as amazing as he is when healthy, it sucks that he is not able to even play half of a regular season. And in the playoffs last year against the New York Knicks, he also got injured early on, throwing a self alley-oop in which he would hurt his knee once again. Now, my biggest question is, what is the 76ers' best move going forward? Is it a possibility for them to try to get rid of Embiid and try to work with what they have with McCain and Maxey as their dynamic backcourt of the future? Should they try to get some draft capital for him and rebuild, or should they stick it out and just try to hope that he's healthy for a playoff series? These are all valid concerns for this 76ers team. The issue with this is Paul George has also not been playing up to expectations. In 12 games he's played this season, which is about 50% of the possible games he's been able to play, he has put up 16 points a game on 41% from the field and 31% from three, the worst shooting splits of his career, except for maybe his rookie year. It's so bad to see this level of a fall off from such a great player, and as we've seen, he is not fully healthy, so that may not be a telltale sign of him going forward. We do have to keep in mind this spring, Paul George will be turning 35 years old, meaning he's not getting any younger. That can be said about a lot of this 76ers roster. You've got Andre Drummond, who is 31 years old. You've got Kyle Lowry, who will be turning 39 in the spring. You have Eric Gordon, who is nearly 36. And you also have Reggie Jackson, who is turning 35 in the spring, just like Paul George. You look at those veteran pieces they have, and these guys also are not getting any younger. Guys like Kelly Oubre and Caleb Martin are probably at the peak of their powers in their careers, being 29 years old. They might not have a lot of room left to grow. On both sides of the floor this season, the 76ers have not looked fantastic, and defensively, they have a lot of issues as well. Embiid, when he has played, has not been nearly the defender he used to be because he is just not as quick on his feet. Guys like Yabusele as well have been put in a lot of pick and roll actions and beat by guys like Zubac when they would play the Clippers. There's a lot of easy counters as well to this 76ers team when they are on offense. When Jared McCain or Tyrese Maxey have the ball, a lot of teams will just blitz and double them because they have to pass to a guy that may not be a super reliable shooter. Eric Gordon has been shooting an abysmal 24% from three. Reggie Jackson has been shooting 44%, which is very good. Other than Reggie Jackson, no one on this team has extremely stood out from three-point land except for Gershon Yabusele, who is 39.5% on almost 4 attempts a game. It just really sucks to see that a team with a lot of veteran presence cannot knock down open three-point shots as well, meaning that it makes the offense so much harder to run when the opposing team is not threatened by the 76ers shooters except for the young backcourt of Maxey and McCain. Andre Drummond has been not very good defensively as well, and he cannot guard outside players very well this season. It also does not help that Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain both are not very great defenders either, so they kind of just get picked apart by good teams with lots of offensive weapons. Without Joel Embiid, you have no rim protector, and with Joel Embiid, he cannot guard any quicker players because of his knee issues. He's not able to keep up as much. There are just so many little issues such as those that the 76ers are not able to overcome because of terrible roster construction. Is it possible the 76ers could blow it up? Well, the issue is they would have to trade either Tyrese Maxey or Joel Embiid. Me personally, I would favor them trading Joel Embiid. The reason they have to trade him as well is because Joel Embiid is currently on contract through the 27-28 season with a player option for the year after that. Tyrese Maxey is signed through the 28-29 season, so for them to do anything, they would have to make a pretty blockbuster trade, to say the least. Now, Joel Embiid has voiced his frustrations with the city of Philadelphia already, so I do see this as a very huge possibility that they could get rid of him. He has not been a fan of the way that the fans have talked about him, but they have every right to be upset in all of his absence in games and poor playoff performances. When people say that Embiid doesn't want to play basketball, he has said that he has done way too much for the city, putting himself at risk for people to be saying that he doesn't want to play. He has already voiced that he won't be playing in any back-to-backs this season. There has already been inconsistencies when coach Nick Nurse and the front office has mentioned Joel Embiid's health. They have already been fined $100,000 at the beginning of the year due to the public statements around his health, Nick Nurse saying that he was not injured. As much as it sucks for the 76ers, I do sadly believe that it is time for them to move on, as with his current status and the destruction that a knee injury can have on players, I do think last year, that first half of the year, was his peak as an NBA player. He's never going to be able to play a regular season the same again, and his career high for games played in a season was 68 in the 21-22 season, in which he was second in MVP. He has never been a healthy guy and has always been very injury riddled, but it has only gotten worse with age, and he is now nearly 31 years old. Now, the 76ers also shot themselves in the foot by giving up Al Horford and their 2025 draft pick to the Thunder for Danny Green back in the 2020 season. And the thing that sucks with this is it's only top 6 protected, meaning if the 76ers do not fall in the bottom of the standings and end up with a top 6 pick, the Thunder get to keep it. Now, as of the way things currently stand, it is very possible, as they do have a bottom 6 record in the league. However, with players like Maxey, Paul George, Embiid, and Jared McCain, it is very unlikely they will stay in this range, as I do believe they still will climb a little higher, especially if they can get Paul George and Embiid back on the court. It would, however, probably be in their best interest to try to get another young piece in the upcoming draft. Because of the way that this season has already started, they have a long way to go to catch up to where they would like to be for playoff contention. They are currently 5 games behind the 6th-seeded Milwaukee Bucks as of the time of recording this video. The also terrible part of them not having their own draft pick is, again, they would not be able to move on from any players, Paul George being secured for 4 years as well on a very bad contract, averaging about $53 million annually. This signing quickly went from the biggest deal of the offseason to the biggest disappointment. So honestly, if you are a 76ers fan, let me know in the comments below if you think that the 76ers should find a new direction with either Paul George or Joel Embiid. Personally, I think getting rid of Joel might be in their best interest, as much as it sucks to say. Overall, I think the Philadelphia 76ers have been absolutely disgusting to start the year. They have had no shot creation outside of Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain, and their offense has looked really, really bad when those two are not on the floor. As it currently stands, they have the 4th worst offense in the league according to Cleaning the Glass, and also have the 4th worst 3-point percentage at 32.9%. That is so abysmal when it comes to this team, because you are not going to be able to compete in these games when you have no shooters in the lineup other than the guys that have to create their own shots, because the other guys cannot knock them down. What do you think about the Philadelphia 76ers? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We just hit 1,000 subscribers not that long ago, and we are currently climbing to 1,100. I appreciate you guys for all the love recently. As always, I will see you next time, cuh.